All right. What's up? What's up? So I was just on here. I made like a 45-minute live explaining basically everything. And it just went up in flames because of one phone call. One phone call. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. There we go. Because of one phone call. So Apple needs to get their ish together, bro. Seriously. Apple's got to get it together because one phone call pops up on my thing. I was recording this for 45 minutes. I get one phone call, slides down on my thing, whatever. It says the answer and the decline. I hit decline. And then all of a sudden this video starts fucking rotating. Like, I mean, doing that cycle thing. So, and then I leave the app. 45-minute video, bro. I leave the app and then I come back to the app and the video's gone. So 45 minutes of me recording just gone because of one phone call that I didn't even answer. I declined. That is not good programming. That is no good. No good. So I'm gonna have to use do not disturb or something. Should I turn on do not disturb? That might be a good idea. I think I am gonna turn on do not disturb so that doesn't happen again. Just God forbid, right? God forbid I waste another 45 minutes of my day where I only get 24 hours in it. And I'm hot too because I closed the windows just to block out the sound of these people. I don't know if people want to just be heard or seen or what, but people are very annoying. All right. Now, back to what I was saying. If it, I'm gonna paraphrase a little bit because I'm not making another 45-minute long video. Basically, I was saying how I'm pivoting from music. I've released a catalog of 3 albums and a variety of singles, right? And I'm not quitting because when I was younger, I always told myself that I want to release 3 quality albums without the help of a label. And if I do that, then I feel like I've completed a mission. And then, I can market it, shelf it, whatever. But at least I completed a mission of releasing 3 quality albums. So that's what I was saying. That was my mission, and now that mission is complete. So I'm pivoting to something else. Whether I had a successful music career or not, I don't know. I mean, that's up to the person. I don't. I mean, it was fun. It was definitely fun. And if something happens in the future with my music or with maybe a movie signing, I don't know, anything cool, then I'm open to it. But as far as now, my music catalog is complete. Because that was always my mission, was to complete. Hi, Nini. It was to complete these 3 albums, and I did that, and I like the sound quality, so I'm gonna I'm happy with that. But now I'm pivoting, and what I want to talk to you guys about. Hi, F's my girl. I hope you don't. But yeah, 4 people in here. What's up, guys? So as I'm closing this chapter of music, which don't think you're talking to yourself. I kind of am talking to myself. Shut up, Goofy. Auntie Fox, have you seen me? There's a lot of people in here. Get more people. Throw the likes. Throw up likes. Throw up Suzanne. Throw up likes. Everyone, throw up likes. Let me get some likes in here. Let me get some likes in here. Hey, let me get some likes. Like. All right, let's get back into the video. So when I was younger, I was like 22, 21, maybe even 19. I was like, I really want to make music. Like, I really want to make music in a way that's, quality music. I don't think I need a label, but I do need, I do need to do the music. I need to make the music. Thanks, subscribe. Everybody say OVO, OVO. Now step this way. Step that way. Now step. All right. Seriously though, I gotta finish the video. Y'all keep distracting me. You keep distracting me because I'm talking about something real and you are trying to, keep the world in your control. So let's go. No more bots. I can't respond to these bots anymore. Now here's the thing. As I've been making music, I've realized, more about the world. I've realized more about the world, more about what music is really is. Media, newspaper, the news, commercials, advertisements. What are those really? What are they actually pressing? You know, um, what are they actually showing us? What are they promoting? And I came to the realization that a lot of it is the praise of European items. Whether it's the handbag or the car or things like that. And honestly, I have no problem with Europe promoting their stuff through music. That's not our job. Like our job is not to keep someone from promoting their company. That's cancellation. Your job is to promote better than them. That's competition. Your job is not to be like, oh, well, how do we make them stop running commercials? That's never going to happen, bro. That's not going to happen, you know? But what you can do is compete with them and run your own commercials. So, um, I'm done trying to freedom fight for the the African American. Can we get a little context for us who have no clue what this conversation is? I included. Yo, bro, your job is to get a haircut, nappy motherfucker. I do need a line. I definitely need a line. It's definitely time. You need context. I got you. So, Anti Fox, I made music for about, I want to say 9 years. It's been 9 years. Yeah, guys, get 2,000 people in here. Get 2,000 people. Share it to 2,000. I made music from about 19 years old to about 27. And I told myself I'm going to finish this catalog of music because I never finished things that I started when I was little. Like I would start football or a sport, and then just halfway through the season or something, I'd just be like, I don't want to do this anymore, mom and dad. And they'd be like, why? What? That's unacceptable. You got to finish what you start. You got to finish what you start. And I'm like, okay. But I never would. So when I started music and I said I want to make three quality albums, I told myself, like by 27, I told myself that I would complete it. So that's where we are now. I completed it. And, you know, I still have a lot to do with that. But point is, I'm trying to pivot into uh, electric vehicle manufacturing, right? And not really pivot because I'm still going to love music. Music's still going to have a special place in my heart. So it's not really a pivot, but I'm trying to add this onto my list of accomplishments. So so basically like the premise of the movie Coco, same shenanigans. I don't know Coco. I never seen it. But basically we're going to I'm trying to pivot in a way where I'm building electric vehicles for the African continent. And I'm okay, so the name of my motor company is Lutanda Motors, and that would be out of Luanda, Angola. Preferably. This is what I hope for because Angola is actually very well developed. In my opinion, I think it's well developed. Is there a few things where they can improve? Of course, but every country has things where they can improve. Angola actually has, like Luanda is actually a nice city, in my opinion, and it's a great place to start. And it's also a coastal city, so it's just a perfect location. And I want to sell electric vehicles out of there under the name Lutanda Motors because I believe that it will do a multitude of things for Africa and the African diaspora. And if for you guys who don't know what the diaspora is Africans outside of Africa. So you're African Americans, African Canadians, you're African Mexicans, you're African Brazilians, you're African Europeans. I think that ideas like this will help propel not only our financial situation, but our minds into the future. Now, with this idea, it's not going to be easy. And on here, I'm not going to give you guys all my ideas, all my business plans, all my methods. But I do want to share what's going on because I feel like I've been distant, like on Twitter, on Instagram. I haven't been talking to you guys as much, and that's going to change very soon. But on here, I've been, I try to make a video every now and again on here for you guys. But what we have to do at this point is stay at least on par with what everyone else has going on in the world. I didn't realize the time. I must go. Sorry, I can't hear you. It's all good. It's all good. See you, Auntie Fox. Oh, shoot. See you, Auntie Fox. I hope you enjoyed. But yeah, I gotta finish this video. Do not leave up. Can you guys hear me? Message retracted. Have a good day, dude. Subbed. Thank you guys for subscribing. You guys are probably gonna get me to 1,000. So thank you. Get me to 1,000. I'll sit in front of this camera all day. Nah, I'm kidding. Can't have the government spying on me. But all right, here we go. As we know, as many people in the automotive industry know, companies are doing big things in China as far as the automotive industry. Like BYD is selling cars like hotcakes. They're selling cars left and right, and they're all electric vehicles. The reason I want to make electric vehicles out of Luanda under the name Lutanda is because I know that that's the future. By 2050, 2045, between that time range, they want to go zero emissions. They want no gas coming out of the tailpipe. They don't want any smoke, smog, nothing. Straight zero emissions. So to do that, to accomplish that mission, the whole world is going to have to transform into electric vehicles. So Africa might as well, oh, thanks. Africa might as well start pivoting that way. I know they make a few ICEs, they make a few trucks, they make a few buses, they make different things. They even make electric buses, I know. But I want us to pivot in the correct way. And another reason is I believe that Africa making luxury options is extremely important. Africa making luxury options is extremely important because you got Ferrari, Italian, Lamborghini, Italian, McLaren, which I'm wearing right now, McLaren, British, the UK, you know? So you have all these different places making all these different things. I think even the French makes sports cars and things like that. It's not about us just looking good. People are like, well, we don't need to do that. Who cares what other people have? Don't compare yourself. I know, I've heard all of that before, but it's not about that. It's about having pride in your creations. Now, if you imagine you work your whole life, you stack your money, you become a millionaire or a billionaire, you got 10, 20, 30 million. So you decide, I'm gonna take out 100,000, spend it on a car. I deserve it. I've been working hard. I take out 100,000, throw it down on a car. Now you got a couple options. You could get a Ferrari. You could get a Lamborghini. You could get what else? What else they got special? What else they got real special? An Audi. There's a ton of car companies. You got Germany making them. They're like luxury cars. You got Italy making them. You got all these places making them. Britain making them. and now even BYD. So you got China making them. And for us not to follow suit is it's a disservice to ourselves, because all we're going to do, all we have is two options. You either make the things or you get the things from someone else. It's that simple. Either we're going to make the electric cars or we're going to buy the electric cars from someone at a, you know, at a loss. Now, if we know we're going to have to make electric cars anyway, we know we want them to look as best as possible anyway. Why not get ahead of it? Why not start it sooner than later? Why not get ahead of it before we end up behind different cultures and things again? Because in other fields, we've done that. They start, the computerization, the internet, different things like that. And we're like, oh, we're learning that now. Let's not do the same thing with this electric vehicle thing where we're a step behind and then catching up. I think, and that's not just for Africa, that's for the whole diaspora, Africans in general across the globe. You need to teach the next generation not only how to build these machines and things like that, but how to work the machine that builds the machine. Like if you go to BYD, if you go to Ferrari, you go to Audi and things like that, they have machines building the motors. They have machines building machines. The motor for your fridge, the motor for your, car, the motor for whatever. They have machines putting those things together, and then those become machines. But if you decide not to go that route, or, oh, well, we have enough money, we're just going to buy them and import them, then what happens is your next generation of children don't have the knowledge on how to work the manufacturing machines. And that's extremely dangerous, because not only can other countries mass produce, outproduce you, but you become dependent on them, because it's like, well, we don't know how to work these machines. We don't even know how to make these machines. So I need you for cars. I need you for fans. I need you for bicycles or whatever. Obviously, I think we can make our own bicycles, but I'm saying, like, you don't want to be dependent. You don't want to depend on anyone. You want to be able to say, oh, that's nice, that's luxury. But we got a luxury cars company too. Matter of fact, they're coming out with something new this year. Let's see what they have to offer. You want to always have an option to stick with your own companies. If you stick with if you have to switch up, oh, well, we don't make that, I have no choice but to go outside the country to get an electric vehicle or a luxury vehicle, then you already know where your money's going when you get rich. When you're imagining being rich as a kid, oh, one day I'm gonna have a nice sports car, I'm gonna have a luxury vehicle. You already are planning to give your money to some other country because you don't make those things. So I think it's important I'm only choosing Luanda for, there's a couple reasons. Like I said, coastal city, very nice. Like the infrastructure is good enough to suffice a type of implementation like this, like a company like this. It can sustain a company like this. But other places in Africa, I love all of Africa, of course, but some of them don't have the infrastructure to maintain a company of the magnitude I'm trying to do. So obviously for this, I would need help from from the Angolan government, the surrounding countries, and the citizens. Obviously, if the citizens don't support it, then there's no point. But I think the citizens would support it, because who wouldn't want their country to be the one that makes these things for and it's not just going to be for the one country I make it in. I plan to sell those cars around Africa, all around Africa, and even outside of Africa. You never know. People might want to trade different things like that and things like that. So I have no problem with different countries or anything like that. I just like Luanda because it's a coastal thing, good infrastructure, and it also it has like almost a tropical feel a little bit that I like. Not fully, but it's just a little bit tropical of a feel that I really like. And I think this is just a good starting ground. But there's a multitude of reasons. I can't see any reason why the their government would not approve of this. It's a big investment, but it's not a huge investment. It's really not. And the upside is so much greater than the downside. Like, what do you have to lose, really? Yeah, a couple money, like the maybe the manufacturing machines that you buy, but even those you can resell and things. So it's like, I don't think I'm telling you guys too much about my business dealings. But point is, there's no reason they should deny this, and I think that if they deny this opportunity for the African diaspora, it actually does a disservice to the next generation more than anyone, because China's already making the stuff. Their next generation is going to know how to make those machines. They're going to know how to work on those machines. Ferrari, they've been doing this. They already know. They've made different body styles, different sculpts on those computers. They already know how to do it. And the thing is, when you aspire for to be rich one day, when you're little, which we all do, male, female, black, white, Indian, Asian, whatever, you imagine yourself being rich one day. And when you imagine yourself being rich, one day I'm gonna have this car. One day I'm gonna have this house. One day I'm gonna have all these things, you know? But the problem is, you shouldn't have to get that Ferrari from Italy. You shouldn't have to get that McLaren from Britain. You shouldn't have to. You should always have an option. Well, what are the Africans doing? All right, Angola's got this, Luanda's got that. All right, all right. Maybe I go with this, maybe I go with that. But at least I have the choice of returning my hard-earned money to my people. I worked really hard my whole life for this. This is $100,000. You know what I mean? Or $1 million. This is $1 million car. If you're gonna give that up, you should at least have the option to look at your own people's creation and say, "Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna get a Lutanda. That thing's nice. That thing's really, really nice." And you guys see down here we got bots. You see how he's trying to distract me right now? Because I'm on the edge of something important. Because I'm about to show you guys. Like, look how ridiculous he's being. Well, actually, we did get you to 1,000. That's cool. Hey, dude, can I tell you something? Now, like he's just spamming, because what I'm saying on here, he's trying to distract me from giving you guys this knowledge. When the younger generation sees these things, I remember I was growing up, I always loved cars. My dream car is a Maserati Quattroporte, right? I always loved cars. And as I'm looking for these cars, within probably 3 or 4 days of researching, my first question that pops into my head is, well, what is Africa making? Well, this is Italian, this is German, this is British, this is French. Well, what is Africa making? And then to go there and see that there is not even an option it's upsetting, because it makes you feel like, damn, all that land, all that area, and we can't make one, one luxury car company. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. So, and it speaks volumes too, because a lot of these European countries and stuff are in debt, right? And they're selling these things to try to get out of massive debt. They're trying to make these quick flips to get out of massive debt. But the thing is, from the younger generation's perspective, all they see is Germans can make really, really nice cars. Italians can make really, really nice cars. We're not thinking about the geopolitics and all that, and the GDP. All we see is, wow, a McLaren. The British can make a nice car. And then we question ourselves, why don't we have an African luxury car? Oh, well, they sell raw materials. They make enough money off raw materials, which is a blessing. African countries are blessed that they don't have to go and configure all these things and do these things. Nope. God has blessed us with the land that we're on. It's abundant in oil, it's abundant in minerals, bauxite, diamonds, all types of things is under this ground. And I can take that uproot it, and sell it as raw material, and they can turn it into whatever the hell they want. I'm unsubscribing. You don't understand. I'm the only one here. I understand you're the only one here, dude. Bye. Like, leave, join. I don't know. But I'm making this video because, like, I have something to say. You don't have to stay here. You can stay here. You can leave. I don't care. But yeah. They have all these minerals under the earth, and they can sell those raw materials. They don't gotta turn, a piece of metal into a Ferrari. They don't gotta do all that because they have raw materials that are already valuable. I get that. But for the information, for the brain of the next generation, you need those machines and those factories there so that they know how these things are manufactured and made. It shouldn't be, oh, you want to learn about Ferrari, you want to learn about sports and luxury cars, you like fast cars? All right, go to Italy. Oh, you want to learn about electric cars, you want to learn about EVs and stuff like that? All right, go to China. No, it should be, all right, you want to learn about fast EVs, fast electric cars? Go down to Lutanda. They're working on that all the time. They mass produce cars. They make a ton of cars. Go down there, learn from them, and they're going to teach you everything you need to know. And then you look at your own people and say, man, we don't need none of that stuff from out of here. Like we could get it if we want, if they make some new innovation or something that we've never seen before, but we don't need that. We got this, we got that. We make all these different things. So and then when you do see the Ferrari and stuff, you're like, yo, that's cool, but I know how it works. And that takes away some of the like, oh my God, how'd they do it? Like some people like, oh, I think that Europeans are getting help from aliens and stuff like that. Like, bro, no, they're not. They've just been doing this a long time and they've reconfigured that model a million times. So at first it's a little divot here, and then it's a little slash here, and then it's a little bit of an indent here. And they add next year, all right, let's remove this. Let's move this over here. Let's add a hole here, add a little slit there. And then the car looks like a piece of alien technology eventually from all those alterations. But if Africans knew and the diaspora knew how to make those things, you wouldn't be in awe, or you wouldn't be willing to give up so much of your money so easily, because you'd say, yeah, well, I've been learning that stuff since like 12 or 13 too, because like Lutanda comes to my school, and they teach me stuff. But that's my ultimate goal, is to own Lutanda motors. And the only reason I'm making this video like this is because I was going to trademark the name Lutanda Motors, right? And when I went to trademark it, they charged me $500. They charged me $500 just to file, not to get the trademark, just to file. So I gave them $500. They file it, and then they tell me that it's going to be 600 to 800 for the lawyer to follow up. So I'm like, you know what? Forget this. I'm just going to make a video explaining my goals and what I've been working on. Like if you look here, I'm working with like a small model right now because I'm trying to build a gearbox. So I'm working with a small model, but in theory, if I can make this small gearbox, it will work as a larger gearbox. You see what I'm saying? So I got some gears here, I got a motor here, I have some bearings. Like I'm putting this thing together, right? Because I always look at stuff as hit the ground running. If you have an idea, you believe in it, hit the ground, run. And then if someone doesn't approve or it doesn't work out, at least you learned on the journey. But never just sit and be stagnant. Never just do nothing. So I've been working on this, and I wanted to trademark it so that there's some paperwork behind it, but this is the best I can do. It's almost like a poor man's copyright. I just want people to know that my goal is to begin Lutanda Motors out of Luanda, Angola, educate the next generation on motor production and electric vehicle production out of Africa, and the rest of the diaspora, the African Americans, the African Europeans, the African Brazilians, the African Canadians, the African Middle Eastern, everyone. I want us to be educated and have a sense of culture around creation. And it's not materialistic. It's not praising materialism. It's not. It's about knowing how electric flows. It's about knowing how a motor operates. It's about knowing how gears interact. It's about so many things that are important to know. But if that stuff's not in your home base, which is Africa, in my opinion, Africa is my home base. If something happened to Africa, that affects everyone. That affects the African American. That affects the African Canadian. That affects the African European. So Africa is our home base. And the more things we have inside of there, I know that you guys have raw materials and stuff, and you're like, well, we don't need to do this though to make profit. But it's still about the information. It's about the knowledge of knowing how these things work. Even Burkina Faso is talking about, we want to start making finished products. We don't want to sell the diamonds anymore. We want to sell the ring. You know what I'm saying? We want to sell the finished product because that's where the real money is. We could sell the raw products and stuff, but if I sell you a bag of diamonds at 2 million, and then you sell each of the diamonds at 500,000, you're gonna make way more money off that bag of diamonds by dropping it into a silver ring or something. You see what I'm saying? So we have to change our mentality around what we do. Like, yes, you can make raw materials and stuff. I mean, you could sell raw materials and stuff, but if we can do more, we should do more, because it does a disservice to the next generation too. Because when they go and see these BYD factories, they're gonna be mind blown. Why don't we have these things? This is crazy. Why did I have to go out of my continent to learn about electronics and things like that? You need that there too. You see what I'm saying? You need that there too. So when they travel, oh yeah, I've learned this. They taught me this. I've seen this before. We actually have these cars, and that's almost like our motors. It gives you a sense of, and also, I know people say, don't, who cares what other people think, who cares what other people think, but you don't want other ethnic groups looking at your people as if they don't know how to do what you do. You see what I'm saying? You don't want them together. Oh yeah, the Africans, they don't know how to do this stuff. You know how to do it, I know how to do it, they don't know how to do it. Show them you know how to do this stuff. Show them I do know how to do it, and I still have raw materials, and I still don't need to import your cars. But if I want to, if my people want BYDs, we'll buy some BYDs, some more affordable cars. If they want some more expensive cars, Ferraris or something like that, then we buy some Ferraris. But we never need anything luxury, because we can build our own luxuries with our own factories, our own hands, our own knowledge. If we don't do this, and I can't see a reason for them to uh, not approve me, because everything makes sense. There's so many reasons to do it. Everything's going electric. Everything's going electric for one, in the future. In the near future, it's 2024. In the next 25 years, they want to change this. This is not going to be like, oh, that's way later. In the next 25 years, they want to get ICEs out of here completely, internal combustion engines. So someone needs to help with that, and I'm willing to be that person. I'm willing to, do whatever it takes to have that type of manufacturing hub inside of Africa. Now, between that, you have everything's going electric. You want your next generation to be educated on how to work the machine that makes the machine, because that's what it is now. It's not just, oh, we put it together by hand. You could do that, but guess what? BYD, Ferrari, Audi, all these places, they got machines making the motors. They got machines placing the motors in the car. They got machines lifting the car, the chassis. They have everything being done by machines. If your next generation does not know how to work those machines, when they travel abroad and things, people are going to say, you're behind. They're going to think you're behind. You don't know how to do this. You don't know how to work this. And your people are going to be impressed. So when your people get impressed, what do? When they come here with these things, they get, oh, this person's amazing. And then they fall in love with their culture, whether that's Italian culture or Portuguese culture or Chinese culture. They're going to fall in love with it because they don't understand it. They just see the nice car, they see the shiny object, and they say, oh my God, how'd you guys do this? We can't do this. Like, you must have alien technology or something. No, they don't have alien technology. They just took a different route because, for one, they don't have as many raw materials, so they kind of have to make those things. You know what I mean? They kind of have to make the metal shine. If that makes sense, they have to make the metal shine. But we need to understand that we can do that too. In addition to the raw materials, we're selling these countries raw materials for them to turn those raw materials into items that we then buy. Why don't we make the why don't we turn the raw materials into finished products there first, and then if we want extra, then we can buy some extra, but we don't need it. We made our own electric vehicles, we made our own refrigerators with it, you know? We made our own nuclear plants with it. So we don't need you. If you would like to trade with us, though, we can sit at the table and we can discuss trade. But we don't need anything. And that's the goal. And that's called self-sufficiency. So my goal with Lutanda Motors is to make Africa more self-sufficient, have more motors. And I don't want to just make electric vehicle motors. I actually want to make all types of motors for all types of appliances. But mainly it would be electric vehicles. But it's a good idea. And I just made this video as my copyright in a way to show like this is what I'm working on. This is an actual real thing that I'm sitting here like trying to put together. And obviously I'm gonna have to rescale it when it's bigger. But I am doing this. The name of my company is Lutanda Motors. I just haven't gotten the trademark yet because it's not even expensive. I just don't want to waste my money on the wrong thing and then find out there was a easier way to do it. It's just like $1,000 something seems like a lot for a simple trademark. So I don't want to get scammed. So I'm like, it's easier, make a video on YouTube and then, you know, no one can say I wasn't working on this. But yeah, that's it. That's it. I really hope that Africa sees where I'm coming from, sees my mentality, and approves of my business because all I want to do is educate and manufacture. You know, and I still love music. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. I still love music. I'm still might even book some shows this summer. I want to book a few shows this summer and stuff. So don't think that I quit music. I always had planned to release 3 albums and then, you know, that was kind of it. So just don't think that I quit. Yeah, but that's it. I'm just trying to make sure I touched on everything. Yeah, you don't want people to look at your countries and think they're not capable of producing these things. You don't want the next generation to come in contact with these other cultures that are doing these things and then be in awe. And oh, how'd you do that? And oh, it must be aliens. You're so amazing. I want to be like you. I want to speak like you. I want to, but that all happens because of inventions. Let's take the gun, for example. The European made the gun, right? They manufactured the gun. And at the time, people were like, "Oh, that's crazy. That's violent. That's evil." Same thing with the nuclear warheads. At the time, people were like, "That's so violent. That's so evil. Who would make that? Why would you do that?" And then, but look at today. Doesn't every country have guns? Doesn't every military carry guns? Every military has guns. So it might have been crazy at the time and whatnot, but that technological advancement was still enough to make the whole world say, nah, at the end of the day, I need that now because now that it's invented, I need that to defend myself. I have no choice but to start buying these things because it's a good invention. And even though I don't agree with violence or killing, it will protect me and my people. So if other people have these things, I have to have these things or we will get taken over, plain and simple. And it's the same thing with innovation and cars. Like if you don't make those things, you will end up buying them from someone else, plain and simple. Either we make it or someone's going to make it and then sell it to us. But that comes with a whole bunch of other things. Every time Africa kind of interacts heavily with other nations, it becomes this power struggle. It becomes this power struggle, and I don't want that anymore. So I'm not saying to cut everyone out. I'm not saying we'll never buy Italian cars again. We'll never buy Volkswagen again. No, no, not at all. There can be a global trade where everyone is happy. Everyone is truly happy. And I said in my last video before it got cut off, um, I don't want to end the European market. If we happen to dip into it a little bit, then that's not my fault, right? You know what I'm saying? If Europeans seem to like my motors, my car, then hey, that's life. But I have no intention of plummeting anyone's business into the ground. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to cut anyone out to a point where they're like, I have no money, I needed that. I needed it to sell that. That's not the goal. My ultimate goal, well, not my ultimate goal, but I think it's good, and it would be a good thing for at least each continent to have a massive car manufacturer in it, because it helps everything. Like, look at America, Ford, right? Manufacturing. I mean, Ford's GM is a little shaky right now the past few years, but still, Ford is making cars in America, right? That provides for America, and even like some of like probably Mexico and stuff like that, and Canada. But that's a hub that's always providing for that area. Europe has a ton: Audi, Ferrari, Maserati. I'm trying to think of some more. They have a ton. Volkswagen. Mm, yeah, they have a ton. They have a ton of cars, but Alfa Romeo. They have a ton. But that's my point. That Europe is like, it's not small, but compared to Africa, if they can fit all those car companies and factories and manufacturing things in that small area, then there's no reason we shouldn't have a couple car companies, that are luxury. Not oh, this is just to get you from A to B. This is a good car where it's, you know, gonna do what it's got to do. So that's all I'm saying is there's a couple reasons we need to do this. Look how many messages this guy retracted. I don't know if you guys can see the messages, but that just shows he was spamming this whole time to try to get me to stop talking about this. But yeah. But yeah, guys. That's it. I just hope I touched on everything. I'm trying to touch on everything so that there's no reason they can say, oh, well, we don't need that. No, we do need that, because as we get closer to the future, our next generation needs to know that here in Africa, and we need an African option for schooling. Like when our kids graduate and they say, "Oh, I want to learn about electric vehicles," Africa should be an option. Oh, you want to learn about electric vehicles? How do you feel about Angola? Because there's a company there, Lutanda Motors, and they work on those if you want. If not, you could go to Europe or Asia, but you could learn there. And then a couple people say, you know what? Yeah, I'll learn there. I'll learn in Africa. I heard the weather's nice. It's, whatever. But at least it's an option. And the person says, oh, you know about Ferrari? You know this, that, the third? Yeah, I do know those companies, but Africa does that too. That's it. That's it. Because, like I said, when I was little, I'm looking up stuff and I'm like, oh, I love this car. This car is amazing. This car goes so fast. This car is so beautiful. The body's so beautiful. And then where's it made? Oh, Italy. Cool. Oh, this one's really nice too. This is an Audi. This is so nice. And then I Google, where's it made? Germany. Oh, cool, cool. And then I look up McLaren. Where is it made? UK. Oh, nice, nice. So then I'm looking through all these cars, and then I think to myself, well, where's the African cars? Africa's if not the biggest continent, or the second largest continent, they say. But where's the African cars? Oh, we don't make luxury cars. We got a couple nice trucks, this, that. Nah, you need something where people are like, oh, that thing is crazy. It's iconic. That's what iconic is. Lamborghini is iconic. Ferrari is iconic. That's what people, some people, that's some people's whole motivation for working is these cars. One day, I'm gonna cash out. I've been investing, I've been saving. One day, I'm gonna cash out, get me a nice Corvette or whatever. Get me a nice Corvette. That's the American mentality. I'm in America telling you, people will save their whole life to cash out on a nice car. They will. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful to have a nice car, nice interior, nice car that gets you around. You might want to do some night driving or something. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I said, I don't want to demolish Lamborghini. I don't want to demolish uh, Fiat or anything. No, we can work together. You guys got a bunch of those things. All right. You know, and we can, people can trade ideas and things like that too. So that, because that's what's happening with the EVs anyway. Because once you sell it, the person's gonna take the car apart eventually. Someone's gonna take it apart. So there's no point in even hiding an idea, really, because as soon as you sell the, you either are gonna make money with the idea, or you're gonna be so scared to give out the idea that you don't that it doesn't generate any money. It's one of the two. Because cars, you're gonna find out, okay, they put this in the car clearly because I have the car now. So it's kind of pointless to hoard information. But that's it. That's all I want to say. I hope someone sees this video in Africa, in or from the African diaspora, and shares it, because I just know, like, it's important. I know it's going to be important in the future to know how these data chips work, how electric flows, currents, all this, motors. It's going to be important. It's already important to know it. But a manufacturing hub in Africa, it doesn't only provide stability, but it provides knowledge and information and an option for wealthy people, white, black, Hispanic, Asian. It gives you an option. If you don't want to buy it, you don't have to buy it, you know? But at least you have the option, especially as an African. An African, from the African perspective, it's the most important. The other people, yeah, maybe you're Asian, maybe you want to switch it up. Oh, you know what? I like the body style. I like this one has little couple compartments that I like. I like to keep my person on it. So I buy from Africa. Okay, that's fine. But from the African perspective, it's like, I want a nice car one day in general. When you're born and you turn, I don't know what, 16, 17, you're like, one day I'm going to drive a nice car. I'm going to get my permit soon. And one day I'm going to have a nice luxury car that's so nice. Your vision should not be exclusively some German or Italian car, or Asian car. You should be envisioning, one day I'm gonna get my Lutanda and it's gonna be so nice. Because the Italian is imagining, one day I'm gonna get my Ferrari. The German is imagining, one day I'm gonna get my Audi R8. You know what I'm saying? That's their cars. That's a big difference. That's a big problem. So like, you're aspiring, one day I'm gonna get an Audi R8. Yeah, but you're African. You know what I mean? You're African. You should, there's nothing wrong with that if you like R8s and stuff, but you should always have an option. And then you could say, oh, well, I don't like how Lutanda does this or whatever. Okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. You don't like that. You like theirs better. That's fine. But at least you had an option to say, I wanted that at one point, or I envisioned myself in that car at one point. Because then you also envision yourself as the business owner at one point. If people think Europeans are getting knowledge from aliens and they're not really, you know, building this stuff, no, they are building it. Like, this isn't just, they're not walking into a room and saying a prayer and then the car appears. Like, this is hard work and calculation. So we need to learn that calculation. I already know we know hard work, but we need to learn the calculations. We need to learn how to move into that next sphere of not just purchasing luxury items, but building them. Because then when people build luxury items, you say, that's nice, but we got the same thing. you know? Like, it's nice, but I don't know if I'm gonna sacrifice my whole life for it when I can get it from, Angola. That's my goal. So, just to cap this video, the name of my company is Lutanda Motors, because this is really what this video is about. It's a copyright video. The name of my company is Lutanda Motors, Lutanda Motors, Motors, out of Luanda, Angola. And my goal is to mass produce electric vehicles eventually. That's it. I just wanted to make that video because I've been working on this, and if somebody steals my idea, because the government likes to steal my ideas, the people around me like to steal my ideas or take credit for my ideas. I'm working on this idea completely alone. No one's helping me. I'm in my room working on the gearbox, working on the motor. I already have a speed, like, it's not an inverter, but I have a speed controller, you know, to control the speed of the motor, how much power is going to the motor. So I'm using these things small so that I can replicate that big in an area when I need to. So that's it. That's it. I'm just gonna chalk that up there. Let everyone know I've been working on this company because I really like the name too. Lutanda Motors. I already have a logo. I already have everything made. It's a great company. It's gonna be a great company. It just needs approval from the people. But once there's the approval, I know people are gonna be happy to work for that company because I'm an easy going guy, man. I'm not like, I'm not gonna be on your back. I'm not gonna be stressing you. I'm not gonna be judging you. And even if you don't want to, I'm just a very nice person. So like, and the goal of my company isn't to stress people out. It's just so we have an option. I know a lot of African countries don't even need the option. They have enough money off of raw materials, off of oil, bauxite, diamonds, all types of stuff. They have enough money to be like, we just buy the cars, bro. We don't need to build these things. But I would still rather us build them for the knowledge on how to do it so that we're not smitten and impressed by foreign inventions, so that our next generation knows, yes, your Ferrari is cool. Yes, your BYD is cool. Yes, your Audi is cool. But I know how to make that too, thanks to Lutanda. And that's where I come in. So like, I just want to I really want to educate people too, obviously manufacture things for people, and I'm really willing to give my life work, my sweat, and things to Africa, because that's another thing I noticed being an American citizen. The whole thing about success, like, people are like, well, you got to succeed, you got to work hard, you got to find a way, you need an opportunity. But all those things in this world, there's few exceptions where you might find a black business owner out here or something that's mega successful, and he'll put you on or hire you. But for the most part, if you want big money, the big money in this country is with, they're not all white supremacists, but it's white people, you know? And I'm not saying you can't help white people and make money. You can help plenty of white people and make some money. But you should have the option of also going to a well-developed country in the home continent of Africa and saying, look, I don't care. Look, like it's like one thing. It's like this American white guy is treating me bad, but I still have to work for him to make ends meet. You see what I'm saying? It's like I still have to work for him to pay my rent, to do my things. If I'm working, so I'm working against myself. You know what I mean? I'm providing a service for someone who doesn't even like me. That's extremely dangerous. That's extremely dangerous. And I'm not saying all Africans are going to like you either, but at least you know you're helping the African diaspora. You're helping the African continent. Like, if your boss is still a jerk in Africa, it's like, this is BS. But at the end of the day, my effort is helping more than just this man. It's helping the people around him. In America, it's like, who am I really helping here? Because a lot of y'all don't even like me or my people, historically, currently. So like, It's like, oh, go succeed, go work hard, be a go-getter. And it's like, yeah, but what am I going and getting? What am I working for? Am I working for someone who hates me? Am I working for someone who's against me, who's spying on me? Like, it's just, you got to be careful with that. So I always think for people who are like, you know what, I don't want to do this, there should be an option to go to black owned and African owned companies where it's like, you know, things are going to be different here. You saw my, well, I mean, I would always treat my employees great, but I can't promise that every African company is going to be that way. But still, no matter what you do, you know you're helping the African people accomplish a goal versus you're helping possibly a racist white supremacist help accomplish a goal. That's kind of scary. So that's important reasons why we need companies like this advancement and for the first time, instead of keeping up, we have the opportunity to be right on time. You see what I'm saying? We instead of being like, oh, let's make that two, let's also create those things. We can be right on time. Everyone's making it. Everyone's transitioning. Let's get in here too and transition from ICE trucks and things like that to a couple of luxury vehicles. I know we're still gonna have to make trucks because manufacturing and raw materials need to be moved and hauled and everything. I know, but still, you got a lot of rich Africans buying BMWs and all types of luxury items. So I know that a couple of them could make the choice of saying, you know what, I'm gonna keep that money in the African circle and buy myself a nice electric luxury vehicle. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And like I said, more creation doesn't necessarily mean competition or destruction. I don't want to destroy anyone's automobile company outside of America, outside of Africa, but I do think that Africa needs the option, and whatever comes with that comes with that. If someone else takes a cut, you know, oh, that cuts into my profit sales. I'm sorry, bro, but this is a car company in Africa. So if you were selling them cars and they choose to buy these more, then it is what it is. Just like most, you know, other car companies. I mean, other countries buy a lot of cars from their country. It's just a way to keep money flowing. So I hope nobody gets the wrong idea by this. I hope, again, you don't think I'm giving up on music or anything like that. It's just the end of that era. But like I said, if any opportunities or anything arises from my music, I would definitely take those too. But it's not it's just there's a time for everything. There's a time and a place for everything. And there's a time frame for a way of thinking that that just changes. So, you know, I'm not trying to end any Audi commercials or any BMW commercials. I'm just trying to also run some Lutanda commercials and give humans the option and also show humans that Africans are not just digging in the dirt because they show us as if we're like poor, don't know what's going on, like, and that's not the case everywhere. There's cities, there's great buildings, there's, you know, great companies. People are smart people, so I think it's time for Africa to show just a little bit of the, you know, to the world, like we do have this figured out. We can be self-sufficient if we choose to. So that's all I want to say. I know this has been a long video. I appreciate you guys for listening, and I know there's like no one in here right now because I've just been rambling, but just that's it. I just want to rehash it one more time. The next generation needs to know how to build these things and how to operate the machines that build these machines. They need, when young adults, when we're aspiring and working, they need to have a vision in their head, not just of Italian cars, not just of German cars, not just of Asian cars. No, of even their own creations. Maybe I work for Lutanda one day. Maybe I help him think of a new idea. Maybe I help Arrow think of a new car concept. That's where your mind needs to be, not just as a consumer, not what can I consume, not what can I consume. You could be a creator instead of a consumer. And that's all I'm trying to switch. And that's not just Africa. That's African Americans too. So much of African American culture is one day I'm gonna buy this and stunt. One day I'm gonna buy this and stunt. That's no problem. One day you can buy this and stunt, but just make sure you're not giving your money to people who hate you. You know what I'm saying? And thinking you're stunting. Oh, I'm stunting. I just spent $1 million on this. I spent $1 million on that. Yeah, but the person catching the $1 million is like, I hate you. That's a problem. You know, I don't even like your people. And he's like, thanks for the million though. So at least you know my car company will genuinely like you. So you're giving your money to someone who cares about you and things like that too, and cares about the Africans across the globe. So it's just important, a mind change, a mind shift, because I've met a lot of Black Americans and Africans who think, yeah, nah, you know, these other countries are just surpassing us. They got like alien technology. And it's like, stop thinking like that. Stop thinking like that. We just have to start doing it, and then it will get better and better and better and better. But if you think like, oh, they're just too far gone, it's too far gone, we can never catch up, then we never will catch up. We never will catch up. Um, you know? So that's it. They tried to distract me with all these comments, but it didn't work. So that's it though. Manufacturing is important. We have to become a manufacturer. We have to start making finished products and really, really taking care of business. The kids coming into this world can't think, oh, why don't we have this and why don't we make that? Because that was me. That was me as a kid. I know that's a real thought. I know that's a real thought because that was me as a kid, bro. I was looking up these cars and wondering, why doesn't Africa have a luxury car? Why can't I buy a? I can get a car from all the way over there. You know, I can get a car from all the way in Italy, but I can't get a car from Africa. So that's what I want to change. And I appreciate anyone who listened to this whole video. It's been like an hour long. So, I mean, if you take this issues like this serious, it shouldn't be a long video to watch. But that's it. I think it's extremely important for us to start making things like this. This is a McLaren P1 from Britain. Beautiful car. Beautiful. This is a Sesto Elemento Lamborghini out of Italy. Beautiful, beautiful car. When they made these, they only made like 100 to 200 models. So this was extremely rare. Like, I've always loved cars, man. So this was an extremely rare bottom. But if you see the rear, it almost has like these wings that just look so nice. So whoever designed the rear of this car deserves like an amazing medal. It's just so menacing. So that thing is awesome. And then right here we got an Aventador, which is also Italian. Ferrari, beautiful craftsmanship. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and hate on nobody either. These are nice vehicles. They are nice vehicles. This is, you know, an Aventador. These are $1 million cars. Some of these are more than $1 million. These are beautiful. There's nothing wrong with having nice things. Like, you know, you religious people be, oh, well, you don't need that. That stuff is the devil. Like, no, well, why is it the devil? It's a fast car. It's going to get you to where you need to go. What's devilish about it? There's nothing devil about it. Nothing evil about it. It's just, it has to be done. Because rich people, whether you're African, Asian, Chinese, European, United States, Middle Eastern, regardless, rich people are going to buy expensive, nice things. Point blank, period. Whether it's rings, diamonds, bags, um, cars, houses. They're gonna buy nice things. I don't care who you are, what you are. So if you don't make nice things, don't expect the rich people to give you your money, to give them your, I mean, don't expect the rich people to give you their money, because you have to make them say, oh, that's really special. If you make them say, oh, that's worth a year or two of my work, then it'll happen. But I sit these cars on my table because they inspire me, and not in the sense of like, not in the sense of I want one day, even though I wouldn't mind having one day. Not in the sense of I want one, but in the sense of look at the manufacturing behind it, and the fact that somebody drew this on a piece of paper at one point, and now it's a reality, flying through air. You know, at one point someone was like, "This could happen. This could go here. This could go there," and then the manufacturers, the machines, or people, a mix of all three, were like, we can actually put this together in a real way. And step by step, it became a reality. Panel by panel, it became a reality. And that's what I really inspires me about these cars, because it's like, at one point, this is a thought inside your head. You know, this could be a thing, maybe, maybe not. It's a thought inside your head, and then it becomes a real reality in people's garages. So, with that being said, I'm going to end this live, but I don't want people to think that I'm racist either, in the sense of like, well, why don't you just buy the European cars? What's wrong with European? Nothing wrong with European cars. I just want my people to also have an option. Just like everyone should have an option. I think there should be a Middle Eastern option. I think there should be a European option. Continental, not country, because by country, that's too many car companies. You're going to cause like smog and rubber, like all types of stuff. But continentally, Africa should have a few. Europe should have a few. Middle East should have a couple, because, America should have a few. Like North America should have a few. South America should have a few. And if anyone's falters, let's say a factory or a plant catches on fire or something, oh, for 2 or 3 months, we're going to need a couple of those Fords. That's fine, but that's an emergency. You want to always be self-sufficient. And then if something, that's how good globalization happens. Oh man, something happened in Italy. Their factory caught on fire. Oh, what happened? So they're low on Fiats. They're gonna need a few Lutandas, or they're gonna need a few Fords. All right, send those over. That's good globalization. That's good globalization. But if we're at each other's necks and we're trying to make as much money as possible and all this stuff, it's just like, what is the point of this? What is the point? The kids don't know anything because we're so busy warring with each other over stuff, and keeping certain people from having resources. It's just like, why don't we stop and educate everyone enough so that we can help each other? That's all I want to do. But hopefully this gets approved. Hopefully this becomes a reality, because right now it's just a pipe dream. But hopefully it becomes a reality, because I'm taking it very serious. I'm learning skills and different things that I've never even thought I'd be into just to make this come true. So, yeah. All I wanted to say, Lutanda Motors, Lutanda Motors, Motors. That is my company. I want it to be based out of Luanda, Angola, in Africa. And that's it. Peace. And I hope you guys understand that I'm not against you. You're my friend. And I just want the best for everyone. All right. Peace.